Hey, what's up guys? I'm Leverboy, and this is Ripley.
Kisama, I am Lord Ripley.
Alright, whatever. Okay, today I want to do a comparison between all three of my Conceal carry handguns.
Are you going to show them my favorite?
I don't know, you'll just have to wait and see. I'd like to show you each one, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you which one I carry.
What have you been doing in these gloves?
Playing with your mama. Smell good?
Oh, you got jokes.
Okay, the first one is a crowd favorite.
That's my favorite.
It's the Sig P365.
Love PP7.
And this one will hold 15 in the magazine, but it has an extended magazine that'll hold 17. Today we're shooting this little baby right here, the Sig P365. This gun primarily stays in my vehicle. I use this as my vehicle gun, but I did conceal carry this one for a little while and it worked out pretty good. On this one right here, the weight is 28.1 ounces with an empty magazine in the gun. Not too bad. And this gun feels really good. It's got great ergonomics in it. The only thing that's ever bothered me about it is the little tiny slide, which everybody knows.
Are you sure that was the only thing?
Let's ring some steel, Sig P365. Let's not ring some steel because I suck at shooting this pistol.
I got no strings to hold me down.
Okay, the second one is going to be this beautiful Beretta 92X. This is the second newest to the family of guns that I have. Shooting the Beretta 92X compact. Let's see what I can do. Now this gun is really slick and it doesn't have a rail guard or anything like it, so it's a real low drag design on this one. Curved trigger guard, shortened grip, but it does have kind of an extension magazine that'll hold 13. Now I do have other magazines that'll hold 15. It's got a really good textured grip on it, really good for gripping the pistol. Not probably the best for carrying the pistol because it does rub up against your stomach, but you can always solve that by putting a piece of soft tape on this side so it doesn't rub you on the wrong end. Okay, this is the heaviest one of the three that I have though, and it comes in at 31 3/4 ounces. I said the other day in the video that it weighed 27.2 ounces. Well, that's what Beretta says on the website, but that's the weight of the gun without a magazine in the gun. I don't do that kind of weight. The only time I weigh a gun is when an empty magazine is in the gun. That's what I consider its full weight. With the magazine in the gun, it weighs 31 3/4 ounces. Okay? Now the newest one to the family is the Sig P365 Macro, which I have right here. This little baby will hold 17 in the mag, and this one is the lightest of the three, coming in at only 21.5 ounces, and that's the comp version, and you can tell this isn't the comp version, so this one probably actually weighs about 22.2 ounces, but still substantially lighter than the other two. Let's do a little comparison between all three and show you the size difference between each. The Sig and the CZ, I'll hold them up right here. You can kind of see the size right there. The barrels are pretty close. CZ is just a little bit longer, and you can tell the Sig is a good bit thinner. And then for the grip length, you can see that because of the magazine in the gun, the Macro is coming out a little bit longer. Okay, now let's take the Sig and compare it to the Beretta. Kind of see the handprint in my hands, about the size difference right there. And then if we put them in our hands right here, you can see the Beretta has got a good bit of length on the Sig. And the grip on these two, Macro is still a little bit longer because of that magazine though. Okay, now let's do a little comparison between the CZ and the Beretta. These two are kind of comparable in size. They feel much closer to each other than the Sig does with either of them. And now right here with the barrels, you can see the Beretta is still just a little bit longer, but I'm gonna say the Beretta is thinner than the CZ is. Definitely thinner. If it is thicker, it's only because of the decockers on each side. For the grip on the P365 and the Beretta, they're very comparable. Because of the Beretta magazine that goes down like that, yeah. So these two guns feel pretty similar to each other. I'm gonna give the edge to the CZ right here as far as comfort goes in the hand, because with the Beretta in my hand, because of this magazine that kind of, it allows you to get that third finger on there, but you can see how it kind of jets forward. So it makes it feel just a little strange in your hand, but the grip texture on these grips is just fantastic. It beats both of those others by a lot. But like I said, when you're carrying it, that might work against you. Yeah, so these are basically my 3 carry guns, and I'll alternate between all 3. I will tell you the CZ primarily stays in my vehicle most of the time. That's my vehicle gun, and the Beretta acts as my second home defense gun. So these 2 always have some kind of use that I'm putting them towards, if not carry, okay? Now, the Macro has become my main carry option because obviously it's the lightest of the 3 and has just about the smallest print.
You know you just told a lie.
It's the lightest of the 3, but as you can tell with that grip, it doesn't necessarily have the smallest print of the 3. So if you were just talking about printing, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Macro probably prints the most. And you know, it's not much because it's just a tiny bit, but if they had just figured out how to cut that magazine against the frame, it wouldn't be as bad. But that frame, making that 1/2 inch longer, it kind of gives it that extra print length to where it's borderline getting too much.
Nobody on the planet knows what you just said. And might I add, it sounded very whiny.
Will you shut up? When you're used to carrying the standard 365 and then you switch to this, it's kind of a big difference. So here's the question I'm going to ask myself. Which one of these would I carry if I had all 3 guns all the time? Well, it's easy. I'm probably going to carry the Macro the most. It's the smallest, holds the most rounds. It's the obvious choice to me. The second question I will ask though is, which one of these guns would I carry if I could only have one for the rest of my life? That's a much better and deeper question. You know what, guys? If I could only have one of these guns for the rest of my life, I'm going with the Beretta. I can shoot this gun the best out of all 3 of these. And even though the ergonomics aren't quite as good as the Macro and the CZ, I have complete confidence in this weapon when I am shooting it. So if I can only have one of these guns for the rest of my life, I'm gonna go with the Beretta.
Ripley don't like that.
Okay guys, if I got any CZP07 fans, then I suggest you check out my video right here.
Lord Ripley approves.